Unlike other Archons, the Pyro Archons are humans rather than gods, given divine power by winning the position through the pilgrimage. So there have been many Pyro Archons in the past. But let's talk about the first Pyro Archon. How a human ascended to Archonhood and how it may be related to the traveler and their Saurian companion. Xbalanque is the first Pyro Archon. The history of Natlan begins in ancient times when dragons ruled Teyvat. These ancient dragons had their own civilization which can be seen in different parts of Natlan. The dragons considered themselves the superior, civilized race, ruling over the land under the leadership of the Pyro sovereign. Humans, on the other hand, were forced to exist in primitive, barbaric tribes, akin to the Stone Age. They hunted for survival, tribes constantly at war. Eventually, the Pyro sovereign is defeated, and his power, along with his sovereignty over Pyro, is stolen and handed over to the humans. But as the dragon tribes are gradually eliminated, humans begin to gain control over Natlan's geographical territory. They are taught the uses and power of fire and phlogiston, which leads to the establishment of their first civilization in Hanan Pasha. The human responsible for this monumental progress is crowned as the Pyro Archon. This transformation was made possible by the cooperation of two heroes, Xbalanque, the first Pyro Archon, and the Sage of Stolen Flame. In the Natlan reputation name cards, we can see Xbalanque and the Sage of Stolen Flame. However, one key question remains. How did these two, despite being from opposing races, a dragon and a human, come together and fight for the same cause? Maybe that Xbalanque and the Lord of Stolen Flame forged a relationship akin to brotherhood, rooted in their shared life experiences. Both were outcasts within their respective tribes, enduring the pain of being marginalized and feeling the constant need to prove themselves. This common struggle likely bonded them for life, transforming them into brothers in spirit. Now let's talk about Xbalanque. The book The Tale of Coiler and Ukuku talks about Kuntur, an outcast shunned by both humans and Saurians because of a curse his father got from the sun god. Kuntur grows up in complete loneliness. But the book ends by hinting that Kuntur eventually accomplished many great heroic deeds, which finally led to his acceptance as a hero of his clan. Now the only human hero consistently mentioned across all books, artifacts, and weapons of Natlan is Xbalanque. If this outcast was able to prove himself to the extent that he was ultimately accepted by everyone, it must have been something huge. As ascending godhood like Xbalanque did. He was likely from the masters of the Nightwind clan, as he had an Ictomosaurus as a comrade. It is the Cryosaurian. The Sage of Stolen Flame is a dragon who was outcast from his clan. Xbalanque, recognizing his plight, shows him great compassion because he understands the pain of being an outcast, rejected by one's own people. Xbalanque and the Sage become companions, and the Sage decides to hide his identity, as the golden patterns on his face reveal his draconic nature. Desiring to feel human, the Sage hides his face behind a mask. Perhaps the Sage of Stolen Flame wore the same marking as our companion, the Flame Lord's blessing. As we learned from Menk, dragons with that mark were rejected by both humans and Saurians, which explains why the Sage may have been bullied by others due to the fear of him getting corrupted and being a danger at some point. It's possible that Xbalanque and the Sage of Sacred Flame performed the ritual together, just as we did with our companion, in an attempt to remove his marking. As a dragon, he knew the draconian language and culture. His deep knowledge allows humans to read the golden inscriptions, conquer ancient ruins, and eliminate dragon tribes. This is why he is referred to as a sage, because he knows everything about the dragons. By looking at these, there is a possibility that the traveler could inherit Xbalanque's hero name. Comment below what you think.